Happiness is attained by three things: being patient when tested, being thankful when receiving a blessing, and being repentant upon sinning. And if a person were given all of the world and what is in it, it would not fill his emptiness. A real man is one who fears the death of his heart, not of his body. If the heart is fed by love, the greed for pleasure would disappear. Sitting with the poor and less fortunate people removes the ego and pride from your heart. How strange. You lose a little from you and you cry, and your whole life is wasting and you're laughing. When there is money in your hand and not in your heart, it will not harm you even if it is a lot. And when it is in your heart, it will harm you even if there is none in your hands. When Allah tests you, it is never to destroy you. When He removes something in your possession, it is only in order to empty your hands for an even greater gift. There is no joy for the one who does not bear sadness. There is no sweetness for the one who does not have patience. There is no delight for the one who does not suffer, and there is no relaxation for the one who does not endure fatigue. The sinner does not feel any remorse over his sins. That is because his heart is already dead. Whoever prefers Allah to all others, Allah will prefer him to others. This worldly life is like a shadow. If you try to catch it, you will never be able to do so. If you turn your back towards it, it has no choice but to follow you. A person's tongue can give you the taste of his heart. If a heart becomes attached to anything other than Allah, Allah makes him dependent on what he is attached to, and he will be betrayed by it. If you knew the true value of yourself, you will never allow yourself to be humiliated by committing sins. A tear that runs down a believer's cheek is more beneficial than 1,000 raindrops on the earth. There are 6 stages to knowledge. Firstly, asking questions in a good manner. Secondly, remaining quiet and listening attentively. Thirdly, understanding well. Fourthly, memorizing. Fifthly, teaching. Sixthly, and it is its fruit, acting upon the knowledge and keeping to its limits. Be sincere in your aim, and you will find the support of Allah surrounding you. Beware of preoccupying your heart with what it has not been created for. Patience is that the heart does not feel anger towards that which is destined, and that the mouth does not complain. Speech remains as a slave to you, but the moment it leaves your mouth, you become its slave. Doom comes about because of neglecting to evaluate oneself, and because of just following one's whims. Truly in the heart, there is a void that cannot be removed except with the company of Allah, and in it there is a sadness that cannot be removed except with the happiness of knowing Allah and being true to Him. A slave stands in front of Allah on 2 occasions, the first during Salah, and secondly on the Day of Judgment. Whosoever stands correctly in the first, the second standing will be made easier for him, and whosoever disregards the first standing, The second standing will be extremely difficult. Every love that leads away from his love is in fact a punishment. Only a love that leads to his love is a heartfelt and pure love. Faith is of two halves. Half is patience, and half is being thankful. He who keeps his heart near God will find peace and tranquility, whilst he who gives his heart to the people will find restlessness and apprehension. Be to Allah as He wishes, and He will be to you more than you can wish for. O you, who spends his lifetime disobeying his Lord, no one amongst your enemies is wicked to you more than you are to yourself. If the heart becomes hardened, the eye becomes dry. As long as one is following the right way, one should never be concerned about the reproaches of those who like to find faults. The sea of pleasures may drown its owner, and the swimmer fears to open his eyes under the water. Beware of every hour and how it passes, and only spend it in the best possible way. Do not neglect yourself, but render it accustomed to the noblest and best of actions, and send to your grave that which will please you when you arrive to it. O people who take pleasure in a life that will vanish, falling in love with a fading shadow is sheer stupidity. The soul will never become pious and purified except through undergoing afflictions. It is the same as gold that can never be pure except after removing all the base metals in it. Whoever mocks his brother for a sin they repented from will not die till he himself falls into the same sin. When a person spends his entire day with no concern but Allah alone, Allah will take care of all his needs and take care of all that is worrying him. He will empty his heart so that it will be filled only with love for him. And if a person were given all of the world and what is in it, it would not fill his emptiness.